If you want to know how to hire good sales talent, you have to know what to look for. I'm Chief Hireologist Adam Robinson, and welcome to Fridays in the Lab. Today is part 2 of a 4-part series that outlines the best practices and tips for hiring salespeople. The process of hiring a great salesperson begins with a complete analysis of the job you're trying to fill. Do you have a complex selling cycle or a one-call close? Do salespeople at your company have to find their own leads? Are daily activities like calls per day and appointments set actively monitored and measured? The answers to these questions dictate the kind of candidate who will succeed in your role. All managers have made at least one, if not more, sales hiring mistakes at one time or another. The solution is to conduct a structured, behavior-based interview and selection process. But interviews involve an investment of your time. And there is nothing worse than settling into an interview scheduled to last an hour and knowing within the first 5 minutes that the candidate is a no-go. To be absolutely sure that you're not wasting your time with a sales candidate, you need to review that candidate's resume thoroughly and check for any red flags. The vast majority of hiring mistakes can be nipped in the bud during the resume review. Now, there are a number of things to consider when reviewing a sales resume. The first is that resumes are really just marketing documents. Some managers assume that resumes contain the gospel truth when it comes to a candidate's background and experience. The truth of the matter, however, is that resumes are engineered to highlight and even embellish strengths and accomplishments while omitting clear and obvious failures. Think about it. Have you ever seen a resume that says the candidate only hit 50% of sales targets due to their inability to set appointments and unwillingness to make cold calls? Treat resumes like you would any other piece of marketing collateral. They serve to tell you the features and benefits, but come up short on a candidate's lack of skills. That's where a keen eye and experience come into play. For example, if a salesperson has been at their current employer for less than 6 months and is looking for work, that is a major red flag. What that tells you is that either this person is failing and knows it, or they know they've made a huge mistake in accepting the position and they want out. People make mistakes, and even great candidates have taken a new job only to realize a few months in that their new employer is nothing like they expected. Most of the time I find that the reason they're leaving is because they feel like they won't succeed in the position and they're cutting their losses early. No matter the reason, what a duration of less than 6 months on a resume tells you is that the salesperson did not do enough fact-finding during the interview process to make a good decision, or it tells you that they're not cutting it and they're afraid they're going to lose their job. Both insights tell me that they're not at the top of the game and that I should probably keep looking. You can make some exceptions to this rule, but only after really digging into the facts. Are you so desperate to throw your company's money at a salesperson that you'd hire someone whose resume creates doubt before they're even in the job? Someone better is out there with less baggage. Great salespeople don't leave jobs where they're making money. It's pure human nature. Great salespeople leave that great job when the company decides to cap their earnings or because they get acquired and the new process wrecks what was working. Good salespeople do not want to start over working for you and your giant question mark without a major upgrade to compensation potential. Here's what it all means for you as the hiring manager with regards to the resume review. If a salesperson is looking for a job actively, that should immediately make you wary. If this person has stints of less than 6 months on their resume, that's a warning that there's something more to the story. Why? Well, because it takes at least 6 months for even a great salesperson to get to a consistent, quota-reaching level of production. Make sure you know why they're looking for that new gig. These are a few of the major themes when reviewing a sales resume. When you're looking at a sales resume that looks too good to be true, it probably is. Understand that resumes are just another form of marketing collateral, and that job durations tell a big part of the story. Focus your attention not on the words, but on the time frames. And remember, salespeople who make great money because they're great at their job typically do not leave unless something fundamental changes about their employer. Hey, we understand it is tough in this business of hiring salespeople, but next week we'll look at the interviewing part of the process. That's all for today's Fridays in the Lab. We'll see you next week.